Callahan for the Hopkins Blue Jays in black will go up against Andrew Tyre of North Carolina in the white. Carolina and Hopkins underway for the 51st time. Two of the great programs in men's college lacrosse in a great February game. Ball is raked up by Scott Smith, the veteran defender for the Blue Jays. Pops free, and we have a very early flag. Smith will work it front side. The penalty will be on Carolina. Patient approach here for Hopkins. Jacob Angeles, 23 in black, playing catch with Garrett Degnan. Russell Melendez fires a low sidewinder. Degnan, 40 in black, 34 straight games with a goal. That's the longest streak in the nation. 3 shy of the Johns Hopkins program record. Dylan Bauer, Degnan, tough angle. Garrett Degnan, Lance Tillman, another grad student, 5th year in a Carolina uniform. 0 in whites. Duffy finds Petramala, and he is stuffed. First big save of the game. Great win against Johns Hopkins. Hopkins has really had the better of this series in Chapel Hill, winning 2017 and 2019. Save made by Colin Krieg of the Tar Heels. Paul Barton, the preseason All-ACC. Duffy around the crease off the post. Zulik with the ground ball for Hopkins. Now they'll clear it against this 10-man Carolina ride. Angeles, great feed. Degnan, 35 in a row. The nation's longest goal streak gets extended with the very first goal of the game. Garrett Degnan's 12th of the season, and Hopkins on the board first. Johnny Schwartz, 6 in white, comes behind for McGovern. McGovern tosses it past Duffy. Roll out toward the midline. Frantic situation here, no call. And Smith with the ground ball for Hopkins. Flag comes out, probably a slash. And the officials are going to bring play to a stop here. We've got sticks everywhere. We've got a Petramala with the shot clock at 20. Petramala inside move off for McGovern. Tillman, tough angle, fighting to get free. Erlin steps low and turns him aside. Meeting between Carolina and Hopkins. First met 1977, the NCAA tournament. 14 combined national championships. That's just at the NCAA level. Duffy for Petramala. Back to McGovern. Around Petramala. Tar Heels tie it up. 7th goal as a Tar Heel for the son of the former Blue Jays player and head coach. Good to see Dylan Bauer back out there. Saw him go down earlier in the quarter. Melendez in the alley. Stepping end line and sends it back to X. Angeles with 20 to shoot. Low shot. Krieg gets down there for it. 3rd save of the game for Colin Krieg. Keeps this game level at 1. Carolina, though, with a failed clear. Ground ball pickup by Peshko. Low scoring first quarter. Brendan Grimes back on the field. Grimes working to the crease. Frantic situation. Flag out again. And we'll see who this calls on. Stuart Phillips, 3 in black into the game. Hopkins going a little bit deeper into their lineup here. Angeles for Collison. Matt Collison's 4th goal of the season and 3rd in the last 2 games. Hopkins back on top. Extra man goal puts Johns Hopkins ahead 2-1. Here's McGovern, the Bryant transfer. 2-year grad transfer in his 2nd season in Chapel Hill. Matten. Erlin goes low. Chase Erlin having himself a great first quarter. 5 saves for the graduate student. Talked to Peter Milliman about the Carolina 2-0, but Hopkins by far the toughest team that they've played to this juncture. Matt Krause with you. Glad you've chosen to make us part of your Saturday afternoon here on ACC Network Extra. Tar Heels with the initial face-off win, sent back to the goalkeeper Colin Krieg. 4 saves for Krieg, 5 for Chase Erlinovar. They'll see a couple of teams out of the Ivy next weekend, a Friday-Sunday setup. Princeton here Friday night, ACC Network 8 o'clock, and Penn next Sunday at noon. There's Owen Duffy. Duffy gets free. Erlin there for a 6th save. Chase Erlin's been fantastic. Hopkins tried to go quickly in transition, able to keep possession. Maybe some of the speed negated there. But American Legion Memorial Stadium, future home of the ACC Men's Lacrosse Tournament through 2028. Unofficial home field of chaos, the PLL. Melendez around the crease. Krieg. Angelis for Melendez. Defended well. Looks to Grimes. Brendan Grimes, 4th goal of the season for the Lutherville, Maryland senior. One goal last week against Loyola. 4-2 edge at the face-off X for the Tar Heels. See here if Carolina can punch back. Tillman off the bench, thought about pulling it. Duffy back to Tillman. He does pull it, he scores. First goal of the season, the graduate student from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Owen Duffy hands out his... He said he wanted to see a little bit more fluidity in his offense. It was definitely a major point of improvement for Carolina game 1 to game 2, Mercer to Fairfield. And the Tar Heels tie it up just like that. Straight down the alley, and Andrew Price, the freshman, with his first collegiate goal. Bet. Angelis at X. Angelis around the crease. Skip pass and a beautiful save, but off the rebound. Hopkins goes back up. Skip pass got the ball there to Melendez. He took a look. Krieg was there, but then couldn't control it cleanly. Bounced away, and off the loose change, Hopkins is able to score and go up 4-3. Times in the flow of the game, there is a lot happening really, really quickly. Carolina has squandered a couple of chances to hold it offensively. Krieg there. 3-0 on the season and win a 4th straight game against Hopkins. As for the Blue Jays, they've won on 2 of their last 3 trips here to Chapel Hill. And a win today puts them 4-1 or better for the first time since 2017. That was one of the couple of times recently that they have won here. Petramala gets the hands free. Erlin reaches up for it. Chase Erlin with his 8th save of the game. Colin Krieg's got 7. Great goalie play on both sides. In transition, Angelis. Hopkins strikes in transition for the 2nd time today. This time it's Jacob Angelis with the tally. 12th goal of the season for Angelis, matches him with Garrett Degnan. Feels like a really key sequence for Carolina here. Tillman back for Duffy, handed out a couple of assists, but no goals yet for the standout freshman. DeMarco for Petramala. Opportunity for Dewey Egan. 4th goal of the season for the junior from San Diego. And as we have seen all throughout this game, when Hopkins built... The Tar Heels go man up here. Done at the face-off X against Wambach. And Carolina's got the man advantage here on the face-off. They will win it. Slashing call against Callahan. This has been such a momentum game for both sides. Hopkins led 1-0. Carolina tied it. Hopkins went up 3-1. Carolina tied it. Hopkins went up 5-3. Carolina, now with a goal this trip, would tie it up. McGovern. Petramala already has one, make it two! It's a two-goal game. Melendez against Barton. Switches places with Collison. Melendez. Bauer has an opening. Krieg to his knees. Geppert and Peshko going at it. Ground ball goes to Striano. Physical, entertaining first half here in Chapel Hill. 2.5 minutes to go first half. Shots favoring Hopkins by 1. Shots on goal even. Saves even. Score even. About what you'd expect from two great teams. Carolina turns it over. Hopkins in transition. They've been so dangerous on this today. Angelis gives it up. Back out. Dignon! What did we say about Hopkins in transition? Unsettled situation. Carolina defensively unable to get it tightened up. And Garrett Degnan. ACC. Matt Krause with you. So glad you're with us here on ACC Network Extra. 51st meeting between Carolina and Hopkins, a series that Hopkins leads narrowly 26-24. Narrow advantage for Hopkins, kind of the theme of the day. Shots are even in this game, but Hopkins on top in the column that counts by 1, 6-5. If you just joined us, welcome in. Johns Hopkins has taken, he does have a couple of assists. Dominic Petramala's got 2 goals to lead the Tar Heels, 1 apiece for Lance Tillman, Dewey Egan, and the freshman Andrew Price. Hopkins being led by Garrett Degnon's 2 goals that extends his goal streak to 35, the longest in the nation. Logan McGovern, James Madden. So no goals yet for McGovern or for Duffy. Duffy will keep it that way. Low short bouncer that Chase Erlin stops. Erlin's been great. That's his 10th save of this game. Army team in their non-conference finale, and then ACC play back to 4 games with a conference tournament this year. It had been 6, no tournament, since Lacrosse returned after the pandemic. Giveaway by the Tar Heels. Here's Hopkins in transition. Keep an eye on it. All the way in, and another transition goal. Jackson Raposo, the Toronto senior, with his first goal of the year. When you get into second halves like this. Melendez for Degnan. 30 seconds on the penalty time. Melendez gives Hopkins their first 3-goal lead of the game. So Hopkins led it by 1 at the break, third quarter. After Melendez's 5th goal of the season. This feels like your inflection point in this game. Hopkins able to pull away from Loyola last week to earn a 3rd straight win. Carolina does win the faceoff. English will take it down and score. And before we can even finish the point on how it seems as if Hopkins may be threatening to pull away here, Carolina gets one back. That's what they've done all game long. Ty English with the goal for the Tar Heels. Brother Bauer. Collison trying to roll inside. English jars it free. Ty English having himself a heck of a couple of minutes here as the ball goes out of bounds back to Carolina. Hopkins had a 3-goal lead in this game last year at halftime. Led after the 3rd quarter. Carolina dominated the 4th at Homewood. Won at 11-7. Around the crease, and it'll bounce in. goal for the Blue Jays and Jimmy Ayers, the freshman. Back to a 3-goal game at 9-6. Ivy's the year that there's a lot of effort made just to bring the sport back after the 2020 season ended early. Owen Duffy, scoreless so far. #1 recruit in the nation. Skip pass McGovern. Up top Schwartz, and his bouncer goes in. Johnny Schwartz with his 3rd goal of the season. 9-7 now the score. Five to go in the 3rd. Hopkins looking for their 3rd 3-goal lead this game. And Ayers will give it to them. Will it roll in? Yes, it did. Trickled past Colin Krieg. Hopkins by 3 again. Hopkins started a little slow with 2 goals in the first quarter. Still had the lead after the first 15 minutes. But second week in a row here that Hopkins favorites in the Big Ten Conference. Schwartz scored just a moment ago. Erlin answers the bouncer this time. Zulik with the ground ball pickup. That was a very similar shot there from Schwartz than the one that went in. Erlin made the adjustment. Lobs it forward for a successful Hopkins clear. Chase Erlin, 11 saves for the graduate students. Carolina off angle, had a look, didn't take it. 15 to shoot. Bauer now double teams and lost it. Hopkins had a couple of opportunities there on that offensive possession. Hesitated ever so slightly, and Carolina forces a big stop. Under 3 to go, which Hopkins has outscored Carolina 4-2. Currently holding their 3rd 3-goal lead of the game and the quarter. They have not led by 4 at any point today. Tar Heels have never led. They've gotten it tied at 1, 3, and 5. Star of the quarter for Hopkins is the man with the ball in his cross right now. Jimmy Ayers, freshman from South Hamilton, Mass. St. John's Prep. 2 goals this quarter alone. Ayers. Up top. Grimes! There's your 4-goal lead. Brendan Grimes with a hat trick. He is really coming into his own. 6 goals in the last 3 games for the senior. Couple of occasions, but never take the lead. Hopkins builds the lead to a game-high 4 at the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. They'll take the initial face-off here in the 4th. Matt Krause with you. So glad you're with us here on ACC Network Extra for the 51st all-time after that game and the message. And he said, yeah, it was a tough situation, but you had to learn to be able to flush it. Bauer driving in. And it ricochets off the post. They got the shot off in time. Carolina will pick it up, though. Won't matter as the Tar Heels bring it front side. But Coach Milliman really praised the efforts of his veteran players as Ty English in transition gets one back for the Tar Heels. 2nd goal of the game for Ty English, 2nd of the season. 11-8. Toward the doorstep. Nobody there, though, to pass to. Ball jarred free, picked back up by Duffy. 15 seconds to shoot, working around the crease. Erlin is there, trying to say that he was pushed. Either way, Hopkins has it the other direction. Big spin ballots today. A look in front, a beautiful feed. Grimes. Got it in front. Melendez scores. 12-8. Russell Melendez with his 2nd goal. He becomes the 4th Blue Jay with a multi-goal game. How about Brendan Grimes? 3 goals and now an assist. Melendez scored a moment ago, sent it into traffic. Ball taken in by Carolina. Tar Heels have had some trouble getting it back to their end of the field today. 7 teams down the alley, spins out. Angeles rolls back right now, left, feeds to Grimes, tried the behind the back. Carolina will take it. Now a flag comes in. This will be on the Blue Jays. Over half. And once that time runs out, there'll be 34 seconds of man up. So far, including about 15 seconds of 6-on-3, Hopkins' defense is held strong. But they'll set up the box look here. See it that it's 4 black jerseys plus the goalie. Tremala on the wing. Duffy, quick feed back out. Tillman whistles it wide. Tremala up top, Duffy. Tillman fakes, returns for Duffy. Matten, that doesn't go. Now, Petramala. Erlin makes a huge save. 13th save of the game for Chase Erlin. And while Hopkins has done a lot right today, they've been really balanced offensively, they've been great in transition, Chase Erlin is having a fantastic after 8 p.m. Friday, noon Sunday. Tigers first on ACC Network, then the Quakers a week from tomorrow, ACC Network Extra. Hopkins, another ACC foe next week. It's Virginia on the road in Charlottesville. 1 p.m. Saturday on ACC Network. ACC Network, the place to be next week for both of these teams. Open cage, and Matt Collison puts the icing on the cake. Matt Collison with his second goal of the game. Hopkins goes up 5 with 2:06 to go. Carolina had an answer for the Blue Jays the entire first half. They went up by 2 goals a couple of times. Carolina punched back both times. Hopkins took a 1-goal lead into the locker room. Carolina will get one back here as Antonio DeMarco scores to make it 13-9. But with just 1:30 to go in the game, Tar Heels are going to need an offensive afternoon, very balanced offensive afternoon. And Johns Hopkins comes on the road, wins their 4th game in a row. Hopkins to 4-1, their best 5-game start since 2017. And the Blue Jay renaissance continues here in Chapel Hill. Carolina dips to 2-1 on the year, their first loss of the season.